All right, guys, went back today with the Palmetto State Armory 5.7 Rock. I've been wanting to try one of these for a very long time, and I'm super glad I got one out to the channel for review. This is the optics ready threaded barrel version, which is the version I would recommend just because it gives you the most versatility. You don't have to suppress it, you don't have to put an optic on it, but it's nice to have those features if you decide you want something like that in the future. The other cool thing about Palmetto State Armory, and if you follow the channel, you know this, they make high value products at affordable prices that actually work, and their goal is to get as many firearms in the hands of responsible gun owners as possible, and they do an amazing job of that. Not only that, they're offering a ton of bundles right now, even on the 5.7, where you can grab the 5.7 blemished version, and I'm using air quotes, for $5.99, threaded barrel optics ready with 10 magazines, and this case with free shipping. That is by far one of the best deals I've seen on this in a while from PSA, and it just goes to show you how affordable something like that can be. If you need more than 10 magazines, if you buy this bundle, they also have a bundle where you can bundle a lot of magazines, I believe 5 and 50 rounds of ammo for affordable prices, and you can actually bundle the 5.7 Rock with AR-15s at affordable prices. There are so many different options. I just wanted to mention that right out of the way so you understand the price and kind of the pricing structure of this handgun. And the 5.7 was popularized by the PS90 and the FN 5.7, but that was kind of unattainable for a lot of people because of the price. The fact that you can grab this with all those accessories mentioned for right around the $600 price point with free shipping really brings this into the mainstream and allows it to become more obtainable for the average Joe. Something like this, though, is incredibly impressive. I didn't realize how much I liked the 5.7 rounds until I started shooting this handgun. A lot of positives come with the 5.7, like higher capacity and lower recoil than a 9mm, making this perfect for a wide variety of applications for different things that 9mm just can't do. About the only con is 5.7 is a little pricey, but again, you can bundle up some of that ammunition with some of the magazines and save yourself some money. And hopefully with the advent of the 5.7 Rock, a lot more people are going to be producing a lot more 5.7 because PSA has a way of transforming the industry like no other company I've worked with in the past. So what do you get in the box? Now you get the optic itself, and you also get some adapter plates, and this one is the adapter plate for the RMR cut optic, and I put the Sealy Wolf Zero. I've got a full review on that. If you don't want that, you can actually swap that off, and it gives you a lot of information in the box to tell you the compatibility, and it also just has a direct plate over the top to cover that optics cut up. Can't really mount, though, directly to the slide, or at least I haven't seen so anyways. I'll dig through there. There may be some optics that work, but I'm always kind of going to that RMR cut pattern. The Wolf Zero that I highly love is the RMR cut pattern. The Trigicon and the Hollow Suns are all RMRs, as well as the Swamp Fox, and those are kind of my go-to optics, and so that's why I'm glad they included the RMR plate in the box. This one also has a threaded barrel. Unfortunately, I did not get to shoot it suppressed. None of my suppressors that fit handguns are technically rated for 5.7. Hopefully, I'll be getting one in the future. But I did run a couple rounds suppressed out of one. I won't say the name, so I won't void the warranty. And it functioned and cycled great. I just wanted to do that real quick, but I didn't run a ton of rounds through it to hurt the integrity of the suppressor. But that is a cool option, and it comes 1/2x28 threaded right out of the box. Now, the sights are very nice sights, and they're actually Glock compatible sights, and I love the fact that PSA is doing that, so you can swap out those sights with aftermarket sights, raise sights to co-witness with your optics, and a wide variety of other sighting options. So that's really cool as well. It also comes with a pick rail in the front, which is going to be key for one of this gun's main applications, in my opinion anyways, personal defense. Personal defense is something that I never thought about using 5.7 for until I picked up the Rock. When you're talking about personal defense, one of the things I like to know is how does it handle, how does it feel, how is the recoil impulse? Under stressful scenarios, recoil might be a shock to a lot of newer shooters, and the 5.7 has almost zero recoil compared to its 9mm, 40, and 45 caliber counterparts in similar sized handguns. So the absolute fact that there is no recoil makes this perfect for personal defense. Also, the ability to add pretty much whatever light or laser on the front of this with the pick rail also makes it great for personal defense. Out of the box, it's been 100% reliable, but I haven't run a ton of ammo through this just because of the availability of 5.7. At about 200 rounds in, so I personally wouldn't trust this for personal defense until I get about 500 rounds in. But just to let you guys know, it's been 100% functional for the first shots video. Again, let me me try to round up some more 5.7, and I'll continue to run rounds to it. The magazines themselves are metal magazines, and they feed and function great. They fit right into the grip and hold 23 plus 1, and that's the second reason why I would recommend this for personal defense. Especially if you get that 10-round mag pack, you can stash them everywhere and have 24 rounds at the ready, which is incredibly impressive. It's also very ergonomic and fits my hands perfectly. I wear size large mechanics gloves, and it almost molds to my hand. It's got a sweeping undercut to the trigger guard and has a nice spot right here for your finger, but it's not overly pronounced, so it does fit a wide variety of hands. It also has a nice beaver tail and cuts in pretty dramatically in the back to avoid slide bite, and the bore axis is really low, lending to the fact that there is no recoil. About one of my only complaints about the ergonomics of the gun is loading the gun for speed reloads. It's just a little bit difficult because of the geometry of the mag. It's so wide, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do speed reloads, and there's not like a huge tapered mag well. I would like to see a little bit more of a tapered mag well, but beggars can't be choosers when it comes to the 5.7 market. You don't have a lot of options out there, and PSA by far is one of my favorite options, and it also just happens to be the most affordable option. The slide serrations are very nice, allowing you to do press checks, and this is probably one of the smoothest guns I've ever racked. I mean, when you pull it out of the box, there's no grittiness, it's super smooth, and it just feels like a quality handgun. The texturing on the grip is almost like a laser stippling, and it feels very good. If your hands get wet, it doesn't slide out of your hands. It also has some texturing up here as index points for your finger to just help remind you where to put them, and then it also helps kind of get a good grip on the gun when you're holding it. Although, you know, it's not that big of a deal because you don't have a ton of recoil. The magazine release is located in an absolutely great spot. You're not going to accidentally bump it when you grip the gun, but it's super easy to access, no problem right there, and the magazines shoot out the bottom and drop free. The trigger on this gun is awesome. So let's take a look at that right here. It's got a little trigger shoe or a little trigger safety bar. You press that in, and it's almost like a linear, directly linear pullback. It hits a wall, and you have an incredibly crisp break. The reset is short, audible, and tactile, followed up by another break. A very interesting trigger, and it does incredibly well. One of the nicest triggers I felt on a striker-fired handgun. Again, lending to just be a smooth and reliable shooter. Before this handgun, I was not excited about the 5.7. I just wasn't. I wasn't going out and buying it. I wasn't going out and using it. I had a 5.7 that I would use for like body armor testing, ballistics testing, things like that. But when this came along, it changed. I mean, it absolutely changed the game. I'm going to be stockpiling 5.7 and 5.7 magazines for this handgun because I absolutely love it. Fingers crossed anyways, that PSA may one day produce a 5.7 carbine. Now that would be absolutely awesome. If you go in the description below, you'll be able to find my campsite page. My campsite page is an aggregate site of all the best deals, and I'll link the best deals to my dagger stuff over there. In fact, I've got two campsite pages now, one dedicated to completely to AR style components and the other dedicated to all the best deals, and I will link that one in the description below so you can find the best deals on mags and the Rock handguns, so definitely check that out. You will want to check compatibility with other brand magazines, and all that information is available on their website, but I would just stick to the mags that PSA offers. They're solid options, they work very well, and they're incredibly affordable. And if you buy the bundle that I'm going to link on the campsite page, you won't need to buy mags because you'll get 10 of them. It's such a great deal. Also, if you're thinking about an AR, don't forget to check out that bundle where you get the AR and the Rock for a very affordable price. All that information and linking will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.